What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at again with another video. So we got to talk about the latest update with the whole Janelle Grant versus Vince McMahon and the allegations and the lawsuit that's going on with that whole situation. Apparently, there's been an update to the lawsuit, and Brock Lesnar's name has actually officially been mentioned. I know it had been alluded that Brock Lesnar was one of the people that Vince McMahon was essentially trying to pass off Janelle Grant to, or try to get like some type of contract renegotiations, and Janelle Grant would be that extra leverage, that extra incentives. Like, hey, if you resign, you can kind of do whatever you want to Miss Grant here. So it was alluded. We didn't really know actually the name, but I mean, we kind of put two and two together once the details came out of who she was alluding to. Well, apparently they said, nah, we're going to put his name actually in this whole situation. And that's what happened last night. So we're going to check this out. This is crazy stuff, even though a lot of us kind of figured it was going to, Brock was involved in this in some way. They actually have made it official in the documents that yes, Brock Lesnar was involved in some form of fashion in this whole fiasco. So, Janelle Grant attorney introduced new evidence against Vince McMahon and names a WWE superstar. The attorney for Janelle Grant filed a motion on Friday that amended the complaint in Grant's case against former WWE boss Vince McMahon. The motion includes brand new evidence. Ms. Grant's amends complaint reveals new details that further demonstrate the sexual abuse she suffered at the hands of Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, and pulls back the curtain on the dangerous workplace culture McMahon created at WWE, said Ann Collis, attorney for Janelle Grant. Miss Grant looks forward to holding her abusers accountable in the court of law. In a court of law, Grant has accused McMahon of sexually abusing and trafficking her to others in WWE while he was the chairman of the company. The amended complaint includes new evidence, including McMahon offered Miss Grant to WWE superstar Brock Lesnar for sexual encounters during his formal negotiation of a new contract with WWE, and McMahon ordered Miss Grant to send Lesnar sexual explicit content of herself. McMahon sent a text message to Miss Grant where he fantasizes in graphic detail about watching a group of men are surrounding her and leaving her physically wrecked, underscoring how he viewed her as a commodity to offer to others. A text message from McMahon to Miss Grant where he makes clear that only McMahon has the power to arrange Miss Grant's sexual encounters, and an occasion where McMahon video recorded Miss Grant while nude for Laurinaitis without Miss Grant knowledge or consent. Details about the sham investigation WWE proclaimed to conduct in 2022 after it became public that McMahon signed NDAs with multiple women in which investigators refused to interview Ms. Grant. The transcript of a voice message from McMahon to Ms. Grant where he attempted to coerce her into signing an NDA really effing fast so he doesn't get kicked out of his own effing company. Damn. Neither Vince McMahon or WWE has commented on this new motion at the time. Vince McMahon is no longer affiliated with WWE as its parent company, TKO Group. McMahon resigned from his post as executive chairman of TKO Group when the allegations and lawsuit from Ms. Grant became public. And that's pretty much it. Now, the reason why this is news and why people are talking about it is, once again, we all knew that people that, saw the documents and stuff, kind of read through, we kind of knew Brock was implicated. And since that was kind of a generalized knowledge of when Brock was implicated, he's been away from WWE. Now that his name is actually in the lawsuit, verbatim, he's definitely not going to be around in WWE. Now, whether this is proven in court or not, we're going to find out at some point. But the fact that his name is now listed in that, and I do think this is obviously strategic. This is very strategic. If you want to kind of pay attention to how things have been playing out with this whole case, this whole lawsuit, Every time something happens, especially with Vince, when it involved the selling the company and everything that he was trying to do, this was always lingering over his head. And the same thing with this whole Brock situation. I know there's been a lot of rumors that Brock Lesnar he's gonna return at this year's Royal Rumble. Well, what's the best way to step on even the possibility of that happening? You just put his name in the actual lawsuit. Actually put it out there. Bring more attention to it once again, even though a lot of us kind of had that idea that that's who she was talking about. They actually put the name in there. That's how you step on it. Simple. Even if he's not supposed to return, that's how you step on it. This is what it's all been about. This is literally, if you paid attention to the case, it's all been just to step on anything that Vince McMahon tries to do, anything that John Laurinaitis or anyone involved of high power would try to do or try to say or try to cover up or whatever the case may be. They would just add some more stuff to the document, to the lawsuit, and then it's like, whoa, it brings more attention back to the whole situation. Now, once again, this could all be not true, but I'm willing to bet some of what happened here is true. And what I've seen since this whole situation has, come to light is people arguing the fact that, well, at one point this was consensual. And you may be right to that. At one point, it was probably consensual. And then at one point, it ended up not being. And if some of the stuff that she said is true, it's not looking good. Passing off someone that is essentially like your employee or whatever the case, you passing them off to other employees and other talent to potentially to get them to resign, that's not good. You can't do that. That's where things get a little bit muddy. It's not good. It comes off as, trafficking, essentially. You're trafficking this one person that you have this complete power over to sleep with other people in the business, in the company, as a favor to this one person. And you kind of, it's one of those things where you essentially have to do it. Because they're providing you with everything. And I've seen a lot of people say, well, she took the gifts. Yeah. I mean, she didn't have to, true. But she did, because at that point, there was really wasn't much she could possibly do. Because I think people try to sit there and discredit someone that may have been in an abusive situation, mentally, physically, emotionally, especially with someone that has that type of power, bro. We've seen in the documentary, that Vince McMahon documentary, certain things was happening behind the scenes that maybe talent didn't like, but guess what? They had no other choice. If you say something about it, there's a good chance you're going to get fired. There's a good chance nobody's going to pay attention to you. Or they'll just pay it off with some hush money. It happens. When people got a lot of power and a lot of money, they can make people be quiet. It's rare that you see someone that will actually be able to stand up to like a billionaire with a lot of money and they get a good backing behind them. So once again, we still don't know exactly what's true and what's not. But Brock's name being listed in this, that sealed the deal. I know some of y'all think, oh, well, he can come back. He wasn't coming back before this got out. He definitely not coming back until this whole thing has been settled in court. Even if Brock had nothing to do with it, the fact that his name is mentioned in there, it doesn't do him no good. Because guess what? Guess what people can say? Wow, you actually have this guy at a WWE event, even though he was part of a situation with Vince and he was being offered sexual favors by Vince from another employee. And you know how it is. And at the end of the day, it's all about money. And TKO, WWE, they're not trying to lose money. They don't want to be in no negative limelight, especially how big WWE is right now. So Brock definitely is going to have to stay away for even longer until all this gets situated, man. So comment down below. Let me know what's your thoughts and opinions on this entire case, man. Do y'all feel that Janelle Grant does have some footing and believe the stories or the stuff that she said in her lawsuit over the years? Or do y'all feel like this, may be a misunderstanding on both ends? Or do y'all feel like Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar and everyone that's involved in this is innocent. We don't know. So y'all let me know down below how y'all feel about it. Appreciate all love, support. Road to 150K. Appreciate y'all kicking with me. See y'all next one. Peace.